Welcome to the live stream. But today, what we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at gold and the Nasdaq. As I just said, that we're going to be looking at gold and Nasdaq, as you can see there. Right. So let's just jump into it, so that we cannot waste each other's time. Right. So what we have today is gold. What are we looking at gold? As I just annotated the charts here, so I'm gonna be short as possible because I don't wanna waste much time here on the live stream. So what are we gonna be looking at today? We're gonna be looking at gold. First off, we're gonna be looking at gold. So this is gold. Let me just activate something real quick before we can actually start, so that you can see which pair am I on. But if you can see, probably you can see here that I'm actually on gold. So this is gold. This is daily time frame. As you guys can see, this is a daily time frame, right? So what are we looking at here? Okay, let me just do something real quick. Okay, I forgot to do this earlier. Okay, so we're gonna be looking at gold today, as I just said. Okay, let me just use this thing. Watermark, I need a watermark. Description. Okay, yes, it's here. So as you guys can see that we're actually looking at gold today. So what am I actually looking for here? As you can see that the price has dropped from 10th of March 2026. The price dropped and made its lowest of the year here, right, on the 23 of March 2026. As you guys can see that, right? Then it started going high, as I just said on the live stream the other day, the last Sunday, the last live stream that I had for Sunday market breakdown. So this is what I actually said, that the price is gonna attempt to go higher. Then I wanted to see if the price can actually close outside this fair value gap, because this is a fair value gap. If I can just turn this on, because I turned it off. Okay, let's just use a different color maybe. As you guys can see that we actually went higher, then we respected this perfectly. This is what I actually wanted to see, right? So this is exactly what I actually wanted to see. So the price respected this, then came to this fair value gap, then tapped into it, then started moving lower, right, on a daily time frame, as you guys can see that. Then we started moving a bit lower. What I was actually looking for here, I was actually looking for signals to actually signal something, that the price is actually gonna go lower now, so it's not gonna go higher, because there's a slight possibility that the price can go higher, but then there are more chances that the price can actually drop from here, right? Because we have these unfinished business here, which we have not actually tapped into. So that's what I was actually looking for, to see if the price can actually get to these lows, because the last time it went to this low and went to this low again. So what I'm actually looking for right now is that I want to see if the gold can actually reach this low. So in what way am I looking at it? Okay, let me just zoom a bit in, so that you can actually get the glimpse of what I'm actually looking at, because I look candlestick by candlestick, so it's not like something that it's not like I look at patterns or anything. I just look at the candlesticks and just understand the candlesticks, because candlesticks can actually tell you a story if you actually pay enough time to actually listen, or if you open your mind enough to actually see that things that what the price is trying to do, right? So what do we have here? We rejected from this fair value gap, which is this, right, which I was actually looking for. Then in this fair value gap, we rejected back to this, then we closed outside in below the middle point here, which is this. Then the price from on the 17th of April, then the price attempted to go higher, right, to trigger this fair value gap up there. So what happened then? Okay, so I want to confirm before I can actually rent and just tell you what I actually expect on these markets. But then then to later find out that this is not even recording, and it's not even I'm not even live, so obviously. But I can see that the internet speed is actually dropping. So, but either way, I'm just gonna continue and assume that everything is in place. So what we're actually looking for here, what we're actually looking at this point is that I'm actually looking to see if the price can actually go back to this and just confirm one more time that we're actually gonna go lower, right? If if the price attempts to come here, then it fails to break above it or don't close above here, above this level 4,799 .07, right? If it does not close above that, then it means that the price is gonna continue going lower, right? So that's what I'm actually looking for. To which low am I firstly looking at? I'm looking at this low for now because we have this 5 value gap here, which is gonna be, maybe it can be turned into an I 5 value gap, right? So we have this one. So I'm waiting to see if the price can actually go lower, then tap into it one more time, then go all the way down, right? Because we have this middle point here on this week here. So then after that, after everything is clear, then I understand that the price is actually going down from this, because this one is going to tell us the story of what we should be doing next. If the price goes higher on Monday or the Sunday open, then I'll be looking for buys from that point. But then I'm not actually looking for buys, but I'm just still monitoring this 5 value gap, because this one is just a catalog for me, because I was actually expecting to see the price tapping into this then going lower, right? But because the price is moving like this in a consolidation form, but it might change the story, because I don't know, it might change the story now. But what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing that the price is gonna attempt to go to this, fill it, then continue going lower, right? Which point am I firstly looking at? I'm looking at this point. This one is my first point of interest. So this one is my first point of interest, right? The level 4,554.10. That's my first point of interest. I'm looking to see if the price can actually get here in real time. So moving to 15 minutes so that like I can actually save time. And then we have this here in 15 minutes. Remember this low, right? What happened on the Friday? Friday was a bit tricky for all of us. Like for me, it was a bit tricky. And because we had actually went back to this low, which became the sell side liquidity, then we started moving higher to this, right, to these highs, which I actually expected, by the way. I expected to see the price doing this, but because I was so fixed in the mindset that I'm actually bearish this time, and looking at Nasdaq going high like that, although that does not actually apply during these days, because these two pairs, because usually, like in the beginning, they were moving in such a way that, like, if gold is going higher, then Nasdaq is going down, right? So gold is seen as a safe haven for the traders, right? For investors and traders, right? So what happened here? The Nasdaq was moving down, was moving higher, right? So that's what I actually expected. Although I don't actually use that information, I just look at the chart and just understand that, okay, yes, we might be able to go down right now. So what did we have here? It was perfect. So we had this 5 value gap, but then I'm gonna start looking at 9:30, because that's what I trade New York time. So I start trading from here up until here, right? So what the price did here is very important, because the price came back to this 5 value gap, then started moving higher, right? If you can see, probably you see that we actually swiped this sell side liquidity, then we started moving higher, right, to these relative equal highs there. Then moving to, okay, let's just jump to 5 minutes so that like we can actually save time and all. Then okay, let's start at 30:30, because that's what I'm actually trading. Okay, looking at this price, it is cleaned up. It is clean, although it did not actually give us enough opportunities to actually scan the market and just understand what's happening here. So looking at this chart, just gonna focus on this section, right? before New York lunch. Okay, so they were actually selling, and the last previous day we sold also as well. So I was actually looking for buys on the dead day, on the Friday, because that was gonna set the tone for the next week, for this week that we're actually gonna go to, right? Let's go. Just use this. Let me just use a touchpad, because it's just giving me issues, right? As you can see that we went back to this high. Then what happened from that point? Then the price went to this 5-value gap. This is the first 5-value gap that we had, which the market actually respected after the New York open, right, going higher, right? So if you were actually positioning yourself, you could have entered here, then went all the way high to this 5-value gap or to that high. But unfortunately, we didn't get to this high during the AM session, right? But this was perfect. This was perfect. But I'm not gonna dive into it because I did not trade it. So I'm not gonna. Usually, what I do on this price, on these things, is it's what I look before pre-market, right? I look at this data and just understand that, oh, we made higher highs during this time. From here, I think from after the New York, after the New York open, I expect to see the price just ranging and just consolidating up until the PM session, right? That's what I actually expect, and that's what I that's how I look at the price, because most of the time that's how the price behaves. So I look at it. So let's just move to this trades that I actually took. I took another trade. I took trades from New York Open. Then I took another trade on PM session, right? So we had this low here on this day, on the 23rd of March. Then where did we open? Yes, I think we opened on which one? Okay, we opened here. So we opened here, then we started going higher, right? What did I expect from this point? I was actually expecting to see the price going higher, right? From here, I took a risky trade because I've seen that the price has already moved to this fair value gap, which been bouncing off for like few times, right? I did not actually remove it, but because I thought that it was still valid. Yes, I have executions, but then I didn't record the screen. Yes, I do have yes, I have executions, but then I didn't record the screen. Yes, I do have executions. Then you're gonna see them as shorts because this is a live stream. Took a trade here, exactly there, exactly there. Then we started moving lower, right? Then we went back to this low, right? Became the society liquidity. Then the price started moving higher because okay, let me just answer this. Sorry about that. So what happened here is that the price actually okay, I was here. What happened here, the price started moving higher, then just it stopped here, then it started moving lower and lower and lower, right? So this is the point where I didn't actually check the trade because I was so faked into thinking that oh I'm done for today, and that's fine actually, that's fine. That's how we actually operate because we don't have to take every single trade that we actually see. So we don't have to do that at all. We just have to take a trade, then just leave when we're done. You don't have to do anything after that. Just be content with enough. Just take your part, take your trade, take your profit, and just leave the marketplace, because even tomorrow it's gonna be there. So obviously you don't need to like trade every single time you see a setup. Sometimes you just have to let out the setup. Like you just have to let out the setup miss you, and just not engage, because you don't have to take every single trade that you see. So that's very unprofessional, by the way. You don't have to take every trade you see. So we took a trade here, exited around there, and the price started going higher, right? But if you can see here, what we missed is this fair value gap respected perfectly, then we started moving up lower, then fair value gap again respected perfectly, then we started moving lower. Fair value gap again started respected, and you can see that it went to this low, right? Then it came back. It's made its lowest of the day, right? On the PM session, then it started moving higher, right? And I was not scared. I was not feeling anxious, because actually I did not actually benefit from this move. These two moves, this one to here. Oh yes, I exited around here to here. Then from here to here, that was enough, because it almost like yielded the same results, because this is almost like the same trade. So it's more like a cheat code actually. So this is it. Then we went all as I just explained that. So what I'm actually waiting for here, I'm just waiting to see if the price can actually get to here, right? And just close these. I'm just waiting to see if the price can actually close that and start moving lower, right? I'm just waiting on that. But anything beside that, so I'm actually bullish for now, for the next 2 days, or for the next one day. But depending on how the price is gonna open today, so I'm gonna adjust from that point. But what I'm looking to see if we can crash these, because if you can look at these perfectly, these are just like relative equal highs, right? So you can probably say that we need to crash this before we can start anticipating a move down, right? As I just said, that on a higher time frame, I'm actually bullish. I'm actually bearish, but then on a lower time frame, I'm not as much as bearish. I'm not as much as bullish as I am on the daily time frame, right? Because on the lower time frame, because I trade the lower time frame 1 minute. I trade 1 minute. I don't look at anything beyond 1 minute or above 1 minute. I just engage in 1 minute. So obviously it gives me enough room to actually see and understand these moves, because these are very important, because they build the market is built on this. Okay, the market is big bro. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know how I can raise it high, because it's high. It's the highest now. I just don't understand how I can raise it higher. It's already high, big bro. Sorry, man. I don't know. I think I should find another way, because I'm using another laptop. The one that I was actually using the last time, it was fine. So this one is just like it's just not it. It's not doing me justice. So just it, man. Sorry about that. But I'll just work around it and just find another way to actually um record better audio and all that. So sorry, bro. So as I just said here, what we have here. So I'm actually looking to see if we can actually get higher than this, because what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing the price going high, right? So okay, let's just do something, because I usually do something when I don't actually understand the price, because I have this problem of only seeing cents, right? So as I just explained that I only see cents. So when the market is going higher, I fail to understand that the market is actually going higher now. So I just I just filter this. Uh I just use the inverted scale. Okay, so this is inverted scale. I don't know if I got that correct. Oh yes, I just can say inverted scale. So it means that the market is upside down. So I usually use it because I have this problem of only seeing. But I understand what caused this problem because I engaged in a market where the market was actually crashing that time, and from that experience I learned that it's better to sell the market than to buy it, which is bad actually. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all because why? Why would you actually assume that? But okay, let's just annotate this. This is the high, this is the low. Oh yes. So I'm gonna use these reds and then blues to actually show which side we're actually on. So from here, I would actually expect to see the price. Let's just see that. I would actually see from here. I expect to see the price going to these, right? As now it's much clear, and it is much clear now because it's flipped. So that's how I can actually see the whole thing, right? So what we have here, I'm actually waiting to see if the price can actually drop into these lows and crash these are relative equal lows, right? Although they are not relative equal, but this is what I'm actually looking for on gold from Monday to Wednesday at least, right? That's what I'm actually looking for. As I just explained in the daily time frame that we're actually, it makes a lot of sense, but then looking at this price, I don't want to see the price going lower, right? Oh, flipper, I forgot that the price is usually going high. So let's just move to Nasdaq and just look at it. So I've not been trading Nasdaq for quite some time now, and it's just weighs on me because what's going on there? Like I don't actually understand. What is it? So it's just weighs on me because I have not been trading it ever since here. I've not been able to engage with the price. I've not been able to just get into Nasdaq. I've been focusing on gold because gold is actually going lower, right? That's what I've been focusing on, right? Instead of going higher with Nasdaq. Although it's such a great opportunity, but then man, sometimes you don't have to engage in everything, right? So you just have to look and admire it because you just love looking at it. Not that because you want to make a lot of money off it. You just love doing it. You just love looking at it and just understanding the price in real time. So as we can see here that we actually rejected back to the social liquidity here, which had a relatively quite low here. Then we started moving high. Then it came back to this fair value gap here, which turned into an I fair value gap. Then the price started moving higher. What I was actually looking for here, if you can see the previous live streams, you can probably see that what I was looking for here is that I wanted to. Okay, maybe there's a way. Maybe I can just tweak this thing. Just look at. Okay. I'm not sure, but I think it's this. Okay, I'm not sure, but just like calculation. Just. Okay, so I hope this one is better. I hope this one is better because this thing is just weighing on me. So then, what on the previous live stream that I did on the 29th of April, right? I explained that if the price can actually come here and close inside here, then continue going lower, I would actually expect the price to go lower to where this is what I was actually looking for here, right? I was looking to see if the price can get here, right? Can actually get here. But then what happened next? The price closed above it, above this fair value gap, then it turned into an I fair value gap. But remember, before it did that, it gave us a clear signal that it's no longer gonna go any lower, right? It's gonna keep going higher. Why? How can I say that? Because this fair value gap turned into an I fair value gap and in that send, it also created another fair value gap, right? So we have two fair value gaps now. We have an high fair value gap. We also have a fair value gap, which actually going to the direction that we actually think the market is gonna go to, right? So what happened then? The price kept bouncing off and on here, then moved a bit lower on the 2nd of April, then came back to this fair value gap, which turned into an high fair value gap. Then it started moving higher and higher, right? Then it closed above these, exactly what I was actually looking for here. This was very important because this actually signaled that we're actually gonna go a bit higher now. We're not gonna go any lower, right? Then the market went down to this fair value gap, which turned into an high fair value gap. Then it kept moving higher, right? But for today, I'm not gonna focus on that because that would mean that this is just a review. But looking at this price, oh yes, I tried to take a trade here, then I did not actually execute the trade. But then this is what I was actually looking for. I was busy with something, then I got caught up because I could not place trades, but instead I placed trade on gold. As I said that I don't actually like the bullish movements and the movement the pairs that are actually going higher. I don't actually like that. So what did we have here? Let me just review this before I can actually go to any. So what I was actually looking for here. How did I take this trade? Why did I take this trade? Because this trade is very improper, and although the direction is right, but why would I take the trade here? It's simple. Let me just show you. This is half past. This is half past. As you can see that we have these here, which but still, even if I took the trade here, it wouldn't make any sense, right? But what I was actually looking for here, I was actually looking to see if the price can actually reach this high, right? The high that we had on the 22 of April, right? 2026. I was actually looking to see if the price can actually do that. And it did, but then like my stops and my entry point was actually in the wrong direction. So obviously it was not gonna do me any justice. So okay, the time is running out actually. So let's just focus on what we came for here today. But let's start at 15 minutes so that like we can actually understand. As you guys saw that the market is actually going high on the daily time frame, so I'm not gonna engage in that. I'm not gonna dive into that because that was just clear, and I don't actually like trading this market when they are going higher because they keep making high highs. Because like there was a time where I think last year, yes, I think last year, there was a time when I was actually trying to short this market when they were going high like this. Then I was trying to short them and expecting to see if the price can actually get to the lowest lows, right? But then they keep going higher every single time when I place the trade. Then the market is gonna rip a bit higher than ever. Then I was like, nah. Let me just take a moment and just refrain from trading these going high markets, right? So I'm just focusing on bearish markets, right? So what we have here, the price seems to be consolidating. So there's nothing I can actually compare to here because this is the highest high. So the price actually made the highest high. So I cannot say we just hit the high or we just hit the buy side liquidity. So there's no way for me to actually say that or to see that in daily time frame because this is the highest. This is the highest market has ever been, right, on the 24th. It's meant the highest high on the 24th April 2026 at 145, right? That's the highest the market has ever went, right? The market has never tapped this price ever before, right? So what do we have here? Looking at this price, I might start trading the price. I might start looking at the price during the New York Open because right now I just cannot anticipate anything. But for what it's worth, I would actually love to see if the price can actually retrace back to this, then start moving higher again, because that's what the market is actually doing right now. So I would actually love to see that, or even going lower than that to this gap here. Which one is this? So this is new day opening gap. So this is a new day opening gap. So it's valid for 5 days. So it's gonna be valid for 5 days until the, not that it's gonna be valid for 5 days. After 5 days, it's not gonna be valid. Yes. But why do I think it's gonna be valid for 5 days? Yes. If we set the price like this, then we go higher, then we set the price like this, then we go higher. Not like that. The market is gonna move like this. No, that's not possible. Then for like this, so it means that I'm looking to see if the price can actually tap into this 5 times. 5 times actually. So the first day tap to it, go higher, tap to it, go higher. Then I want to see that. But for now, what I'm actually looking for, I'm looking to see if the price can actually get here. So this is my point of interest for this week. I want to see that, or even better, but I would actually love to see this being crushed. I would actually love to see this being crushed. Beyond that, I don't have anything, because we just came back to this social liquidity, then we crashed it, make an obvious sell, made an obvious crash, then we came back to this, then we crashed it also as well. So this is what the market was actually targeting for. These are relative equal lows, right? That's exactly what I was actually anticipating and looking at. As you can see here, we had a high, went higher, then came back to this favorable gap, then we started moving lower, right? This was permissible, because if you can look, it was after the New York Open, so it was an AM session. This is the New York Open, then the price went higher, then started moving lower, then came back to this favorable gap, then took advantage, because we're actually gonna be looking at this. We're not looking at anything beyond here, right? As you can see that there's a favorable gap here, which actually respected, by the way. So it's made a lot of sense for the price to actually come here, because it had a lot of business to do there. So it had made a lot of unfinished business up there. As you guys can see, there's a lot of unfinished business in here, right? It's almost like the same thing, right, as this one, but then because it's a new day, different events and all that, so we cannot just like we don't actually trade patterns. We just look at the candlestick and just understand the price, and we don't trade patterns. It's not like because the price is moving like a dragonfly or whatever. A dragonfly is just a concept that I just created. It makes a lot of sense. But either way, this is what I'm actually looking for on Nasdaq. Let me just move to 1 minute so that I can just look what I actually annotated there is correct or what. But this makes a lot of sense. This one makes a lot of sense. I want to see the price crushing this. But before that, I want to see if the price can actually reach a bit higher to this, right? I want to see that. I want to see if the price can actually reach here, and from here, I wanna be monitoring it and just looking at it in such a way that I wanna how but I wanna see this getting here and just giving us a signal here that the price is actually gonna go a bit lower, right? I want to see when it start moving lower. I want to see the price leaving a fair value gap here, right? Then start going higher to it, and from when it's going higher to it, what I want to see is I want to see if the price moves here in a consolidative way, or just move there impassively. And if it moves impassively going higher, right, then from that point I'll just be monitoring it and just looking if is that achievable or what. But I want to say that for the load that I will be targeting here is this, right? This is the first load that I'm going to be targeting at. This is what I'm going to be looking at. This is the load that I'm really interested in seeing first before these lows, right? That's what I'm actually looking at. So from here, I want to see the price going higher than this, or even better, creating something, or just something around these upper quadrants here. I want to see that. I want to see that something above this, around these upper quadrants. So obviously, I want to see that. Then I want to see the price going lower. Right? But yeah, I might be wrong because this is the market, man. Actually, this is the market, and if you wanna see the true source, I actually post a link there under this live stream so that like you can actually see the source and where I think the market and who I learn it from, because I'm just I'm just here I'm just here trying to like understand the price the way that I've been taught. Yes, of course, the mind works in a different way. So obviously, you're not gonna be able to grasp everything right and on just one go, obviously. So usually, sometimes I get it wrong too, and most of the time I get it wrong. But then because my risk to reward is always above the losing rate, so obviously I'm gonna be always above and way ahead. So obviously that's how I actually capitalize, because man, you don't know when your next loss is gonna be like. So as the Bible says, also as well as it is Sunday, the Bible says that you should not put all your eggs in one basket. So because you don't know um what kind of bad luck you're gonna have in this world. So even if the Bible understand that there's always something that's gonna happen which is very negative also. As much as there's a negative side, there's also a positive side. But what you should be able to do in this market when there's a negative side is that whenever you lose, you don't have to lose much, but whenever you win, you have to win more, right? Like for an example, let me just make an example here. All right, so okay, I just deleted it. Oh, changed. Did not understand. Did not. I've never used this thing. I haven't used it in years. So something like this, right? So here, right? Do you see the risk here is less than the wins? So which means if I take one trade, then it results into more profit, right? It means that I have more chances to actually get into the market and just try again, right? Not that I'm gonna be executing on any trades that I see. No, I'm not gonna be doing that. But it just gives me the leverage to actually execute in this market without fearing or fear of losing much money, because I know that my model is going to deliver at the end of the day. I know that everything is going to work out as it's supposed to, and I know that I have a strategy which gives me an edge in this market. So I don't actually get frustrated on when the price actually hits my stop loss. I don't even get mad. I just it just opens up a new room for me to actually um benefit on that price, because okay, take it like this, right? Okay, I thought the price is gonna go higher, right? Yeah. Okay, this is just an example, right? The price will crash my stop loss. Then when the price is actually going lower, right? That's when I'm gonna be able to actually capitalize, because this loss here taken here compared to this win taken here, you can probably see that it is timed multiple times. So obviously it's not gonna be the same. So it's just remove the fear of losing and just embrace the possibilities of taking trades and understanding what can actually happen, because we don't actually control this market and we don't know. I'm not gonna say we don't know, because we're speculators. We sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. But for the times that we actually understand and our probability edge is on our side, that's when we actually capitalize on this market. So obviously. But this is it, so I'm gonna wrap it up for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope I didn't waste your time. Yeah, I hope this was nice. But I also urge you guys to actually look at the price action and just learn from the price action. I'm not saying learn from me, but I'm actually saying I learn from the source. Okay, let me just write this down so that like I can actually see who's the source here, because okay, so I'm not taking any credit because okay, that's the first one. Then on YouTube, YouTube.com. Yeah, so this is what you should be looking at. This is the channel you should be looking at. This should be your friend, you know. Yeah, I think I've missed this one. Hey, what's going on here? Alright, inner sector trader. Yeah, this is it. This is your source around here. So this is the guy that you should be looking at. And also on X. Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm not sure if like I wrote it correctly, but this is the guy you should be learning from, and I'm just here expanding my channel. I'm not actually teaching anything. I'm just here as just the guy, right? So this is the guy you should be learning from, and promise you, if you can give it like a couple years, 2 years, 3 years, 2 years to 3 years, probably you're gonna get something. Trust me, I know you're gonna get something. I was also introduced by my friend to ICT. At the first glance, I thought, oh, this guy is just the guy, man. Come on. I thought like that, but then when I actually dived into his content, then that's when I actually understand that I had a long way to go, because I was actually trading the trade lines. You see when the price is actually going high like this. But I'm not actually saying that. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is this fits my personality perfectly, because now I have a model which is time based, which I understand, which I see, which I think I see when the price is gonna turn or when the price is not gonna turn. So usually I used to trade this, and this was nice actually. But because I did not like trading after like the other sessions, right? I did not like to hold for days before I can actually make $10. I did not like that, and I did. It frustrated me on how hard it was for me to actually understand the market and just flow with them, right? It made a bit harder on delayed me a lot. I'm not saying if you don't if you trade the way that I do, I'm not gonna be delayed. Don't get me wrong, guys. So, but I'm really grateful for the guy who actually put me on, and I think he's on the trade here, as you guys can see. He's here, and literally, I'm really thankful, and I'm forever gonna be thankful to that guy, because he he plugged me with something which actually resonates with who I am, with how I think, with actually everything. So pick up to Loise ICT 2022. Big bro, I'm really thankful for how you plugged me and how you made everything easy for me, and just how you explain the concepts steps by steps, and then how you break it down, how you broke it down, and it's been a journey, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a journey, and man, I'm really grateful, bro. So guys, you can probably see you can look at this guy on the internet, then on YouTube you can find him here. On X you can also find him with this name, but also you can search Inner Circle Trader, then you're gonna find him. He drops gems every single week. That guy is savage. This is off topic, but that guy is actually savage because he's doing it live every single week, every single day. He's doing it live, proving that he actually, not that he's actually proving, but he's actually doing it live. And I want to be like him one day. So let me not get ahead of myself. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is such a great milestone for us. So, thank you, guys. I hope and I pray that you guys have a great weekend ahead. But for me, I'm just busy with other projects, so I'm not actually engaging in this market. But then when I do engage, obviously I'm gonna post something here. So guys, hey, have a great week, days, and trade responsible, man. Just take care of your capital and don't just blow it. So, hey guys, bye. Till next time.